C1. You are listening at FameTV.info. At night I dragged myself home, tired, ready to take a shower and go to bed. That I didn't expect that the bathroom door would suddenly open and the landlord, Xiaoyu, would appear in front of me, reeking of alcohol. That I was about to shout a warning to me to take a bath in the bathroom, but the next second I covered my mouth. She slowly took off her clothes, ignoring me, who was standing in front of her. A pair of proud eyes bulged out, nearly bursting the black lace undergarment she wore. I foolishly stared at Xiaoyu. Her fair arms, slender waist, stilted beautiful hair, and slender legs formed a beautiful curve. Her sparkling and translucent skin seemed to be able to pinch water out of her body. That I know that I am taking advantage of someone, but when I saw Xiaoyu's pride and her yearning ditch, my mind went blank. I only thought that I could continue taking off Xiaoyu and tear off her little lace undergarment. I have never seen such a sexy summer rain, watching the body have a reaction. Xiaoyu looked at me and smiled sweetly. She actually pounced towards me and muttered, "Hubby, you're finally back. I missed you to death." I was shocked by Xiaoyu's actions, but her two heavy lumps kept rubbing against my chest, making me feel restless. I really wanted to tear her clothes apart. Due to the sudden arrival of the summer rain, the water didn't turn off. After hugging me, Xiaoyu just happened to get wet and her consciousness also gradually cleared up. Seeing this, I immediately pushed her away and shouted, "Sister Xia! What are you doing?" Xiaoyu was stunned. As she focused her eyes, her face turned red. "Heh! I drank too much." Xiaoyu stammered, but from time to time, her eyes glanced at my hands that were covering her lower body. The atmosphere was a little awkward, so I quickly turned my back and said, "Sister Xia, I'm almost done bathing, you should go out first." I went back to my room immediately after my shower, and for the next few nights I thought about what had happened in the bathroom that day. A few nights later, I came back to find Xiaoyu sitting on the sofa in the living room, drinking her wine. I was going to go straight back to my room, but she suddenly called me over. "Little Xiong, come over here and drink with elder sister." Xiaoyu was only wearing a translucent pajamas with a sling, and pink undergarments could be vaguely seen from the inside. That I swallowed and walked over to Xiaoyu, who handed me a can of beer. Seeing that Xiaoyu was in a bad mood, he asked, "Sister Xia, what's wrong? Could he be thinking of brother.in.law?" Xiaoyu could only sigh sorrowfully and ask me, "Do you think your brother.in.law will be looking for little San outside?" Xiaoyu's husband has been out of town in recent months, saying he and his friends are starting a second business, and the results are quite good. That I didn't expect her to ask me that, and for a moment I didn't know how to answer. That I sat next to her and peeked at Xiaoyu. She looked very attractive right now. How could that be? "Big sis Xia, you're so sexy, how could brother.in.law find someone else outside?" After Xiaoyu heard this, she giggled, "What's sexy? How many years have I been married for? In a few more years, I'll be a yellow-faced woman, but I'm still sexy. Only your mouth is sweet." I immediately said, "Sister Xia, how did you become a yellow-faced woman? You are the most beautiful and sexy woman I have ever met." All women like to be praised, and Xiaoyu is no exception. After being praised by me like this, she laughed a few times, and her mood seemed to be a lot better. That I drank a mouthful of wine and was about to take a bath when Xiaoyu suddenly asked, "Xiao Xiong, you're no longer young. Why haven't I seen you bring your girlfriend back for the night? You can bring people to the house as long as you don't disturb the neighbors at night." I smiled awkwardly and said that I had been busy at work and hadn't thought about finding a girlfriend. I had been single for 2 years. Ah. Single for 2 years. Then why aren't you holding back? What do we do if there's a need for physiology? I was stunned for a moment. It seems that Xiaoyu drank too much. Normally, she definitely wouldn't bring up such a topic with me. After saying that, Xiaoyu also felt that the topic was a bit off. Her originally blushing face turned even redder from her bashful words, and she hurriedly turned her head away to avoid my gaze. "I was just asking. I didn't mean anything." I am also from the past. The topic was so sensitive that for a moment, the atmosphere became extremely awkward. Xia Yu pursed her lips and kept on drinking. I also drank a bottle of wine in one breath. Maybe it's because of the alcohol, I bravely asked as we were discussing earlier. Sister Xia, since brother.in.law isn't home for so long, you must have some other needs, right? Both men and women should have a need for it. Xia Yu didn't think that I would suddenly say something so straightforward. She was startled for a moment and her small hands trembled. The two groups of arrogant people also trembled a little. My mouth was parched from watching. Originally, I thought that Xia Yu would ignore me after our conversation like this. Just as I was about to change the topic to ease up the mood, she said, "What can I do? I'm a married woman, so lonely that I can only do it myself. Settle him." This time, it was me who was stunned. I couldn't believe that she would be willing to talk to me about such a sensitive topic. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.